I am Dr. S. Anbuselvi. I am going to deliver a lecture on phosphate solubilizing microorganisms. Phosphate solubilizing microorganism, it is naturally present in the soil. Okay, so the phosphate, because the phosphate is present in the soil, it is essential for the growth of the plants. Okay, so you have a fertilizer, right? The fertilizers, it contain the nitrogen, phosphorus, and the potassium. So the phosphorus is sublimated from the soil to the plants through the microbes, which is normally present in the soil, that are called as a phosphate solubilizing microbes organism, that are called as PSM. And then next one is you are going to see about the phosphate solubilizing microorganisms. It is present in where means it is present inside the soil. Okay, it is present inside the soil. It is there. Okay, what does it mean? The phosphorus, it is the major growth limiting nutrient. And as a nitrogen, whenever we are talking about the nitrogen, there is a large atmospheric source that can be made, the biologically it is available. And the phosphorus, it is play a significant role in the plant growth, and it is a major plant growth limiting nutrient despite its abundance in the soil in both the forms, that is organic and inorganic forms. And the phosphorus is being a structural component of many coenzymes and then phosphoproteins and then DNA structure, phospholipids, and form a part of the genetic memory, that is the DNA, the structural backbone, sugar phosphate backbone. It is also linked together through the phosphate. Of all the living organisms, it is involved in the transfer and storage of energy, which is used for the growth of and reproduction process. So it has also play an important role in the next elongation, that is of root elongation. And then the next thing is you are having the proliferation, growth, deficiency, and affect the root architecture, seed development, and the normal the crop, the maturity is there. Okay, so now we enter into the phosphorus cycle. So phosphorus, it is taken up by the plants from the soil. It is consumed by the plants, and once again it is returned to the soil in the form of organic residues. So this phosphorus cycle, it is taken from the soil and then it is updated by plants, and then once again it can be returned back to its the normal form, that is called as organic residues. And the conversion of organic phosphate into the inorganic phosphate, that process is called as what? It is called as mineralization. So mineralization means because the mineralization only what happened that it is uptake by the plants. And then next thing is the phosphate solubilizing microbes. So what is called as a PSM? PSM means the large number of microbial organisms including bacteria, fungi, and actinomyces, algae. It has exhibit the phosphate solubilization and mineralized its soil activity. Initially, I told that the plants cannot absorb the phosphate as such it is present in the soil. By using of microbes, it is converted from the inactive form into the active form. So these soil bacteria, they have reported that to mobilize the poorly available phosphorus via two mechanisms. What are they means? That is the solubilization and mineralization. They include that is of a specific microorganism such as Pseudomonas species, Agrobacterium, and Bacillus acculensis. And soil fungi have also been reported to be able to traverse the long distance within the soil more easily than the bacteria, and may be more important to the solubilization of inorganic phosphate in the soil, as they are typically produced and secrete more amount of organic acids. So what is the end product after that is a microorganism? They secrete the organic acids. So what are they? They are gluconic acid, citric acid, lactic acid, 2-ketogluconic acid, oxalic acid, tartaric acid, acetic acid by the bacteria. Than the bacteria, the fungi, it is a play that. And then next how much amount of the microorganism is present in the soil. That is called diversity of the PSM. Means there is a myriad of microorganism, especially that is of a PSM. PSM means phosphate solubilizing microorganism. It is present in the soil. Some of the most common examples of the species are Pseudomonas species, Bacillus, and Micrococcus. And then next thing is a Flavobacterium. So these cases are called bacterial species. They convert the insoluble form of phosphate into the soluble form. And then fungus, Aspergillus, Penicillium, Fusarium, and Selenoidum. So these are the example for the phosphate solubilizing fungi. And then types of the solubilizing phosphate solubilizing the bacteria they are taken is called as Bacillus. There's a Bacillus, it is Pseudomonas. Okay, so this how we have to identify the Bacillus means it is having a rod shape, right? So the rod shape structure and the colony wise we can observe it. And then Pseudomonas we have observed it in the form of microscopic examination. It is called as a rod shape, and the pigmentation is the form in that from that pink media you have to observe that is of a Pseudomonas. And then next thing is here it is the fungi. So fungi also Aspergillus species. The Aspergillus species Avomori, Aspergillus candida, and Aspergillus colony, they show that is of what high amount of the phosphate solubilizing activity. Okay, so these are the microorganisms present in the soil itself convert the inactive form of the phosphate into the active form. That active form is absorbed by the roots to enhance the growth of the plants. And then next thing is Aspergillus fruiting body also present. Penicillium is also there, and then Trichoderma viride. So these are the common species it is present there. And then what is the mechanism present inside the soil? Okay, your soil having the phosphorus, which form it is present? It is present in the form of inorganic form. And inorganic form it is absorbed, precipitated, and mineralized. And then organic form means it is present in the form of adsorbed and associated with that is of a humus. So there are two forms it is the present there, either in the form of inorganic form and organic form. And inorganic form and organic form what undergo the two important mechanism by the microbes. That is the first one is solubilization and it is followed by mineralization. So the solubilization and mineralizations are carried out by the microbes and they converted into what? Converted into the soluble form. That is H3PO4 or HPO4, monobasic or dibasic form, and they are called as dissolved organic phosphate. These are the available phosphorus. It is uptake by the plants. Okay, so this mechanism is called as the phosphate solubilization and mineralization. This is carried out by the microorganism. It is called as the PSP or PSM. And then after this, once again, what happened that it is returned back to the soil via through the PSP. It is immobilization. What is immobilization? Movement of this phosphorus present in the soil. Okay, so and the next thing is Bacillus. What is the role of these BSM? Continuation is the Bacillus were found to produce the large amount of organic acids, that is lactic acid, isovaleric acid, isobutyric acid, and acetic acid, and other organic acids such as glycolic acid, oxalic acid, malonic acid, and succinic acid have also been identified among the phosphate solubilizer. The stains from the fungus that is called as Pseudomonas, Bacillus, and Rhizobium are most among the powerful the phosphate solubilizer. And then phosphate solubilizer, what is its role means? It is the inactive form, that is inorganic form or organic form, It is as such present that it can be converted into the monobasic or the dibasic, the phosphate form. So what is the mechanism is means chelating agent. Chelating substance only they produce the acids. Okay, chelating substance and inorganic acids and or other mechanism also very less effective than that is of a organic acid production. So what is its role means the first point is organic acid production. So from that you have to identify the microorganisms subjected to solubilization and mineralization. Okay, so this is the thing. And then next thing is we are enter into the mechanism of the action of PSM. What is the mechanism means? The plant absorb the phosphorus only in the two soluble form. What are they? They are monobasic, that is called HPO4 minus, and dibasic, that is H2PO4 minus. And these two form only it is absorbed by the plants. And then these the solubilizing bacteria, they have enhanced the solubilization of insoluble phosphate. Okay, and insoluble phosphate uptake, and automatically it has secrete what? It secrete the organic acids and phosphatase and phytase enzyme, which are present in the large variety of what? The variety of the soil microorganism. And during this conversion process, a part of phosphorus is assimilated by microorganism, but the amount it is made soluble and releases its excess to the requirement of the microorganism. The excess amount thus can be made available to the plants. It is released into the plant. During this conversion process, which is the indicator is organic acid. If it is organic acid is released, automatically the PSM play a significant role in that. And next point is the equally important acid production. So what are the acids are produced? Common nitric acid and sulfuric acid. As this result of organic and inorganic acid, what happened that the phosphate present in the soil in the form of what? In the form of calcium phosphate. So the calcium phosphate converted into the dibasic or monobasic phosphorus, and these are easily made available by the plants. Okay, so uptake of it and then enhance the growth. So this is the normal mechanism. First indicator is a secretion of acid. After the secretion of acid, what happened there? The calcium phosphate converted into that is of the monobasic or dibasic form, and that form is absorbed by the plants. And the next thing is how the mechanism is carried out. What are the indicators to indicate the mechanism means? The main thing is various approaches have to make the phosphorus accessible for the plants to absorb. What are means? It is the lowering of the soil pH, because you are having a soil is a neutral pH, but once the phosphorus solubilization is carried out, automatically it is a lower the soil pH, acidic condition that indicate the production of organic acids. And the next mechanism is chelation. And the chelation, what happened? The breaking of the calcium phosphate. And the next step is mineralization. The mineralization only what? Insoluble form is converted into the soluble form of the phosphorus. Okay, and then mechanism of this inorganic phosphate solubilization. The principal mechanism is the production of mineral dissolving components such as organic acids, phosphates, and protons, hydroxyl group, and the main thing is carbon dioxide. So these organic acids are produced together with the carboxyl and hydroxyl ion. These what is it? Chelate cations, right? So the chelate cations, they reduce the pH, acidic condition, to release the phosphate from the calcium phosphate. The excretion of this organic acid is accompanied by the drop in the pH of the soil, and therefore automatically what happened? Acidification of the soil is happened. So acidification of the soil as well as microbial cells and the surrounding, the phosphate ion is released by what? The substitution of the proton for the calcium 2 plus. So calcium phosphate detach it and the releasing of the phosphate into the soil. Okay, so how we have to identify that phosphorus deficiency is there in the plants? So these are the symptoms we have to see that, because the coloring, the chlorophyll content, okay, and then white color patches, and then what happened? The loss of chlorophyll and the necrosis. So these indicated that the phosphorus deficiency in the plants. And then what are the acids it can be secreted by the phosphate solubilizing microorganism? There are nearly around 25 to 50 organic acids. What are they means? Citric acid, you know, oxalic acid, acetic acid, isobutyric acid, isovaleric acid, itaconic acid, 2-heterogluconic acid, propionic acid, succinic acid, lactic acid, gluconic acid, aspartic acid, malic acid, glutamic acid, glycolic acid, malonic acid, alpha-hetobutyric acid, tartaric acid, fumaric acid, glycoxolic acid, and malic acid. So these are the different organic acids produced by the plants. And what are the factors it is responsible for this phosphate solubilization? The nutrient source. So the nutrient richness of the soil and the physiological factors and growth factors it indicates. So the PSM from the soil and especially from where? It is from the environmental extreme such as saline alkaline soil and high level of nutrient deficiency, or the soil from the extreme temperature environment. These cases, they have the tendency to solubilize more phosphate than the PSM from the soil from the more moderate conditions. So the environment itself, what happened? The PSM activity is more active in the high alkaline soil and then high extreme temperature environment. They have solubilized more amount of phosphorus. And then there have a conflicting report on that what? The influence of the temperature on the phosphate solubilization by microbes. The scientists White et al. In 1997, they found that 20 to 25 degrees centigrade as the optimum temperature for what? The maximum microbial, the phosphorus solubilization, and the interaction with the other microorganism in the soil. The extent of vegetation, ecological condition, climatic zone, the soil type, plant type, agronomic practices, the land use systems, and the soil, the physicochemical properties of organic matter and the soil pH. So these are the factors that influence the microbial phosphate solubilization. And the next one is the benefits. So what are the benefits of this means? They're transferring, right? Transferring the phosphorus from the insoluble form to the soluble form as a function of what? It is act as a biofertilizer. If a nitrogen, the symbiotic, non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation you are talking. Same thing here, the phosphorus also play an important role in that, so supporting the growth. Therefore, it is also called as what? Biofertilizer. They increase the soluble phosphorus content, and the use of phosphorus biofertilizer is a promoting approach to improve the food production through the enhance the agriculture yield, as it is better to use an environment friendly approach to solve the problem of what? Infertile soil. The infertile soil is converted into the fertile soil. And the next thing is the phosphate solubilizing microbes. What are the role means? They play a significant role not only in that is of growth of a plant, the production of growth hormones, antibiotic production, soil aggregation, that is infertile form converted into fertile form, and support resistant to the abiotic stress, that is water, heat, temperature. These cases the plant can survive due to this presence of PSM in soil. And then the lowering this particularly increasing for the accessibility of other the trace element like iron, zinc, magnesium, and copper. And apart from this, siderospore synthesis and increased colonization. And another important is the factor, it is also support the nitrogen fixation. And next thing is biocontrol. For a plant pathogen, it is act as a good the biocontrol agent. So these ways it has support the plant, not only for the growth of a plant, different ways it has support the growth of a plant. And then now we enter into the microbiological aspects, how to isolate the phosphate solubilizer, that is called PSM. So the possible using that is of a plate screening method. So plate screening method, the phosphate solubilizer produce the clearing zone around the microbial colonies in the media. If you're having a media and the small circular colonies, zones are formed, it is that is the identification of the PSM. And insoluble mineral phosphate, which is used in the media, tricalcium phosphate is or hydroxyapatite. They are considered present in the media. This media you have to use that. Then only it is a solubilized. Okay. And the indicator is bromophenol blue method produce the yellow halos. It's indicating that what? It is indicating the pH drop through the release of what? Through the release of the organic acids. So from there, we have to identify the PSM. So PSM means it indicates the halo zone along with that is of a yellow color. The zone is there in the with the help of what? Releasing of organic acids. And then inoculum preparation. How you have to prepare that is of your inoculum preparation means they are because of the plant need that is of biofertilizer, right? So that fertilizer is made from the microbes, right? First step is isolation of the microorganism. Microorganism from the soil, you have to take it and then isolate the colony and identify that. Then you have to put it on the specific media, tricalcium phosphate, and then you're having a halo zone, you are getting it. That is one step. And the next step is inoculant preparation. So inoculant preparation, we need that is of core and then bromatide, corn oil, mineral salts, nutrient, right? Nutrient, peat mass, vermiculate, and fertilite. So step one, the bacteria are cultured on the suitable media in the suitable condition. That is the first step. And the step two, it is collection. After the incubation period, collect all the microbial cells to centrifuge. Wash the shells with a distilled water or that is of a diluted saline solution. And the step three, the formulation of the inoculant using a carrier material. So the carrier material used to be that is of a peat mass or vermiculate or the using that is of a perlite. So first step is you are taking the organism and second step is concentrating the organism and third step is you are going to mix with the carrier molecule. The carrier molecule either the peat or vermiculite or perlite. Okay. And then next thing is which media most probably used in the broth, because mass production of this phosphobacteria that is called as Picosphaera media. So Picosphaera media you have that as the broth is prepared in the flask and inoculum from the mother culture. Mother culture you are identified through that is of a tricalcium phosphate. Okay. So that is mother culture transferred into the flask and the culture is grown under the shaking condition at the temperature of 32 plus or minus 2 degrees centigrade under the submerged culture. And the culture is incubated until the maximum cell population you are attained it, then you have get the biomass. Okay, so under the optimum condition, the population level would be attained within 2 to 3 days for phosphobacteria. Okay, for phosphobacteria or maybe that is up to that 6 to 7. And the culture is obtained in the flask. It is called as a starter culture. For the large scale production, the inoculum is from the starter culture. You are transferred into the large fermented flask or seed tank fermenter grown until the recovered level of the cell count. So up to the cell count, you have to make the mass production of the PSM. Okay, and then inoculum preparation, prepare the appropriate media for the specific bacterial inoculant, first thing is at 250 ml or 500 ml or 3 liter. How much you have a conical flask, you prepare it and the media you pour it on that with a sufficient bacterial stain, but under the aseptic conditions, and keep the flask at the room temperature for 5 to 7 days. The maximum is 5 to 7 days. Observe the flask for the growth of the culture and estimate the population, which is serve as the starter culture. From the starter culture, we have to inoculate the larger flask or seed fermenter tank. You have to meet that, obtain the growth of the PSM in a large scale. And then here, there's a large scale production. If you are starter, you are taking the seed tank fermenter, or that is of a normal large quantity fermenter. First point is it is sterilized well, cool, and keep it ready. The media present in the fermenter, it is inoculated with which phase? The log phase. The log phase culture grown in the 5 liter flask, usually 1 to 2% of the inoculum is the sufficient. However, the inoculation is done by up to 5%. It is depending on the growth of the culture in the larger flask. The cells are grown in the fermenter by providing aeration. Okay, passing the sterile air through the compressor and sterilizing agent like agitator, like glass wool, cotton wool, or acid you are given that. And continuous stirring is the continuous. The broth is checked, and for the population of inoculated organism and any contamination, if anything is present in the growth period, also monitor. And the last one, harvesting of the PSM. The cells are harvested with a population with a load of 109 cells per minute after the incubation period. And there should not be any fungal. If you want the bacteria, means bacteria only there. Any fungal or any other bacteria contamination up to the 10 to the power of -6 dilution level, you check it. If it is not advisable, store the broth after the fermentation period for periods not longer than 24 hours. Immediately you are binded to the carrier. Even at a 4 degrees centigrade, you have the number of viable cells. What happened there? It has begin to decrease. So freshly only you have that to prepare it, and then you have to use it that. And water holding capacity is here. It is more than 50%. Therefore, it is very suitable for the high temperature zones. Especially for the unfertile field, we have to use it as a fertilizer. And the field application means the inoculator, how it can be inoculated. After binding to the carrier, you can apply through the seed or sealing root tape and soil application as a method as same in the case of Azospirillum. So the main thing is, but the main thing what? Combined application of what? Bacterial biofertilizers also we can apply. But what are the points to remember? That the bacterial inoculant should not be mixed with what? Mixed with the insecticide, fungicide, herbicide, and fertilizers. So don't mix it with the fungicide, herbicide, and fertilizers. And the seed treatment with the bacterial inoculant should be done at the last when the seeds are treated with the fungicide. Once we are decided to treat with the fungicide, so these can be done at last. Okay, otherwise what happened? Both of them mixed together, it retarded the activity. Okay, now that is of a phosphate solubilizing biofertilizer is an important component of this. Okay, so only the bacteria were no. It has a fungal also involved in the specific media. It contains the insoluble phosphate. So incubate and observe the colonies, clear zones colonies you are headed, and quantify the phosphorus, how much amount it is present means you have take the specific culture and then observe it. What form it is present, monobasic or the dibasic form, the phosphorus is present in that. And the next thing is the selection, the grow the bacteria or the fungi in the specific media. Okay, so in a phosphate, incubate and observe the clearing zone around the colonies and quantify the phosphorus dissolved by specified organism. Select the efficient culture based on above the criteria. We have to use that. Next thing is we have to discuss on the fungal. First one is bacteria. The bacteria, how that is offered. Now we are going to discuss about the fungal. But the fungal also what happened? Tricalcium phosphate. You have to identify that as of a fungal. And then next thing here, it is immobilization. So latest technique, it is used in that. What does it mean? It is entrapment in the calcium gel. Okay, how means using a sodium alginate. Okay, 100 ml sterile sodium alginate and 2 gram of fungal biomass. You are isolated, right? The PSM, they have mixed it together. The mixture was extruded into 150 millimolar calcium chloride, forming the beads of 5 millimeter diameter. And then what entrapment you carried out? 2 gram of fungal biomass, 75 ml of crisp HCl buffer, and 20 ml of bisacyl amide gel, a solution you are taken, and 1 ml of ammonium persulfate. This is like a page line. Okay, polyacrylamide gel preparation. And the polymerization is initiated by 100 mol of NNN tetramethyl ethyl in diamine. So these are act as a polymerization agent. Okay, so this can be carried out. After that, you have to put it in the special type of the bioreactor. So what is the bioreactor you are taken? The smaller particles are suspended, upward motion of the reacting fluid, and usually in that is of a bend. The intimate content between the solid particle and the fluid is recovered. The solid particles will be the flocculated cells. Okay, so you are having agitator and everything in that. The fluid could be the ferment in the present in the fermentation broth. Okay, so fluid bed bioreactor, it is a suitable for the biomass production of the fungal PSM. Okay, so fungal PSM, if you are taken it in the having a bioreactor contain 500 ml conical flask containing the immobilized fungal biomass and the suspended in 200 ml of the liquid media, nitrogen free liquid media, and sublimated 5 gram per liter of DCP you are added. And placed in a rotary shaker at a 25 degrees centigrade, and fluidization was assured by stirring at the rate of that 120 RPM. Okay, the phosphate solubilization rate was followed by according to the time in the bioreactor, and the supernatant were analyzed spectrophotometrically to determine that whether the soluble phosphorus present in the broth, okay, in the ferment. And the repeatedly the batch operations, you have to get the large amount of fungal biomass. The longevity of the solubilization of this activity of immobilized fungal biomass was investigated in the repeated batch, the solubilization test. Okay, what are the advantages? It is a greater population, faster action, withstand the low moisture content, improve the plant growth, increase the fixed phosphorus present in the soil. Okay, and then what are the disadvantages? The phosphate solubilizing bacteria not only release the phosphorus, it also release the plant growth promoting substance such as gibberellic acid as well as vitamins. And the poor survival and colonization, and the strong competition is formed between the native microbes because lot of microorganisms present inside the soil, it bring about the competition. And the last one, it is the availability of what? Inadequate nutrients. So where the source, it is used for that. It is used for PSM. It can be used for the maximum yield for wheat, rice, and chickpea per kilogram per hectare. You have to use it, you are gaining the weight, the PSM. So phosphate solubilizing biofertilizer enhance the yield. So crop yield, it has yield by 5 to 10%. Okay, have increased the 5 to 10%. Finally, I come to concluded that the phosphate solubilizing microorganisms are the group of microorganisms capable of solubilizing inorganic phosphorus into the soluble host. And in another important indicator is in the presence of alkaline or acidic soil, the availability of phosphorus is very low. These cases, the microbes organism reverse the process and make it the to fertile form. And the PSM, when used with the rock phosphate, save 50% of crop requirement of the phosphate fertilizer. So inoculation of a seed with a PSM give the crop yield response equivalent to that is of a 32 kilogram artificial, that is a synthetic phosphate fertilizer You have to use that. Instead of that, you are getting a more amount of the crop yield is there and support the growth of a plant. Okay, so the phosphate solubilizing microorganisms also used as the biofertilizer for a growth of a plant. It has act as a fertilizer, act as a growth supporter, and then it will have that as of a plant pathogen, the reducer, defense mechanism, organic acid production, and it support the drought condition. Unfertile soil is converted into the fertile soil. Okay, so these are the features that support the growth of the plants. Okay, so the main important thing is the phosphate solubilizing bacteria. You have a significant role in use as a biofertilizer. Thank you so much.